Hey everybody, welcome back to another Judgment commentary of the Monogatari series, but today we're going to be beginning Zoku Owarimonogatari, the final part of Monogatari that has currently been adapted. But last time we finished things off with Owarimonogatari's second season, and that had to be one of the best finale episodes that this show has had so far. I mean, honestly, Monogatari has always been particularly good at having last episodes of arcs. Like, they usually really bring it home with the last episode, but this one especially did a really good job. It started off with Araragi getting the full explanation of how Ogi came to be, and it turns out that Ogi was in fact created from Araragi. She's a manifestation of his desire to correct his mistakes. It's why, right out of the gate, she decided to try to help him sort out all that stuff with Sadachi in the back of his mind, because that was something that in his subconscious he was feeling real bad about, so that's why she was so quick to help him with it. But to keep it short, everything that Ogi did involving Araragi, in fact everything she did just in general, was involving his past mistakes or things that he perceived as being mistakes. Also, because her manifestation kind of arose from the first in some ways, she, like him, had all of the same abilities as the oddities from around town. And also because she emerged from Araragi, she gained a couple extra ones too. Such as the fact that she actually created the cram school. It wasn't its ghost or anything, she actually recreated it herself using Shinobu's ability to create matter, which she actually used before when she recreated the classroom during the Sadachi stuff. Which that's all well and good, but because at the beginning Araragi decided to expose Ogi for what she is, the darkness swooped in and tried to take her away. And she accepted this. She accepted that it meant that Araragi was right and that she was wrong, and that now she was just gonna get to be deleted, but Araragi made the most Araragi move of all time and decided that he wasn't gonna let it happen. He rushed in, tackled her to the ground, and saved her from the darkness, and lost his arm in the process. But what was so great about it from a character perspective was this wasn't Araragi helping somebody else, it was finally him helping himself, because Ogi, no matter what way you look at it, is Araragi. She is an extension of him, so this was finally him deciding to save himself. And they've been building up to that one for a while. But then, moments before the darkness decided to move down a couple feet and kill both of them, Oshino showed up and decided to validate Ogi's lie. He accepted that she was his niece, and thus, it wasn't a lie anymore from the perspective of the darkness, and just left him alone. Because that's how the oddities work, you know? As long as people believe that they are something, they are that thing. Such as how Ogi was incapable of exposing Tsukihi to the darkness because Araragi fervently believed that she still was his sister. And in this case, Oshino believed and accepted that Ogi was his niece, so the lie she told became real. But at the end of the day, the finale wrapped up everything so nicely. Araragi's character reached a really good point there, where everything seemingly has worked out, and even at the end, he pulled a weird Araragi move by just seeing this random girl walk by, and he just chased her down the hall. And apparently we're not supposed to know who it is, she's just some random first year student, but I heard said that the reason she looked familiar was because when they animated her, they used a model similar to that of one of Suruga's friends that we saw earlier in the series, Higasa, and yeah, I can see some similarities there, so that's probably it, but she's not anybody that we're supposed to know. Maybe we'll find out more about her later, but for now, we got nothing. Also, at the end, when we heard Hanekawa describing how when she went to find Oshino in order to make it back, she had to sell off parts of her brain, which when I heard that, that sounded really intense, like she literally sold off chunks of her gray matter, but nope, that's not what it was at all. It was a figure of speech. She didn't mean she literally sold off parts of her brain. She meant that she offered up her intelligence, so to speak. And interestingly, the one she sold it to was actually Dramaturgy, the vampire hunter. Yeah, I remember that guy. Apparently they teamed up during their trip, and she sold off her brains to him to help him on some missions. So yeah, not at all what I was thinking. Let's just get into the stuff involving Zoku here. I did ask you guys which I should probably check out between the movie and the TV variation of it, and the consensus was mostly that it doesn't matter which you pick, you know, that you could go for the movie or the series. They're pretty much the same. I got one person saying that there's actually more detail in the TV variation, but at the end of the day, I think I was already set on doing the TV variation just because it would be easier that way for me. You know, I can't really as easily find a spot to just sit down and check out a movie. It's a little bit harder to do that, so that's what we're going with here. So we'll be beginning episode 1 right now. Don't know. I don't know what exactly spurred on the whole desync with the mirror thing, but yeah, it could have something to do with him exposing Ogi, but probably not. Maybe it has something to do with him recently reforging his connection with Shinobu, making him, you know, still a quasi-vampire, but that could have maybe thrown the reflection out of sync. Perhaps what is and isn't reversed is somehow connected to Araragi's perception of things, you know? Like it's choosing the things that he identifies as representing people and then reversing that. Like Mayoi became an adult and then Karen became shorter, but Tsukihi, perhaps there's no like one thing about her that he thinks stands out, so nothing got reversed. But so far, this is an interesting beginning to an episode, you know? And I know that it originally was a movie, but it seems to be lending itself to the TV format pretty well, all things considered. I mean, usually when you have a movie, you can't just segment it into episodes and make it work. But so far, seems to be doing fine. All in all, a good way to start off the arc. It had some nice moments in there, some good humor. It gave us the usual Karen stuff a little bit. Followed up by them changing up a little by her getting upset that he wasn't leaving now that she was in her underwear. That's a little new. And Ononoki's hyper-exaggerative personality in the mirror world is actually kind of fun to see. So far, she has definitely had the most distinct and noticeable change. Even more so than Mayoi, I guess. But sadly, big sis Mayoi, as it were, laid things out that this world is strange and just one big contradiction. It's all a paradox. So there's no, like, trying to make sense of how this world would work. It's just all reversed nonsensically. Like how Araragi said he never would have met Mayoi if Shinobu wasn't there. But there's also the fact that why would Mayoi still be the god and be an adult in this world? It wouldn't make much sense because if she was this old, it would imply she never became a ghost. And then she wouldn't be an apparition, so it wouldn't make any sense, but she already laid it out pretty clear that this world doesn't make sense. It's a pretty nice get out of paradox free card there. Just say that none of it needs to work because it's just an exact reverse of the world the way it was when he came in. It has no previous history. This world's history is just what his world's history was. Even still, I think this is a solid concept to give us here for this little epilogue section. Just taking what is a fairly established trope, you know, the whole going to a world where everybody you know is reversed. It's been done a lot, but it still lends itself to some interesting storytelling, you know, and some good gags of just seeing somebody act in a way totally opposite of what you'd normally expect. Or even sometimes not act differently, but just look different. But for now, I think that's all I really need to say. So, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to leave a like in the comment if you enjoyed. That'd be great. Subscribe to get updated on more. I would appreciate that. Let me know what you thought of the episode. That would be awesome. But next time, we've got episode 2 of Koyomi Reverse, as it happens to be. So I suppose next time, Araragi's gonna have to continue to try to find a way out of this mess. So far, he has had little luck in thinking of exactly what to do, but we'll see the process of him finding it. So for now, that's it. Till we meet again, I will see you guys later.